Welcome back to another episode of Deeeepio Media. I'm your first host, Bagelmaster4107, and today we'll be going over the map choices for the new update. So, without further ado, let's get right in. Okay, so the maps that have been selected to go into game are, for the free-for-all maps, Star Rain FFA by Emmy. I believe this map was previously known as Sakura FFA. And then we have Orchidile IC World 1 by Orchidile. And then we have Morty FFA by Morty. The four maps that have been selected for Pearl Defense are Cave PD by Emmy also. We have Pangolin PD by Pangolin. Wi-Fi PD, my Wi-Fi equals poo. We have Venom PD 2 by Venom. For the 1v1 maps, we have Cool Waters 1v1 by Cat. We have Pangolin 1v1 by Pangolin. We have Wi-Fi 1v1 Mangrove by My Wi-Fi equals poo as well. And then Volcanic Reef 1v1 by Emmy. I have very strong feelings about that last map. I'm going to have to try not to make this a giant rant. I really don't like that last map. Sorry, Emmy. Okay, so for this map, which is Emmy's map, which is Star Sky FFA, I cannot get over how much I do not like this map. I'm sorry, Emmy, I just really don't like this map at all. Its terraining is alright. It looks like it'll play alright. There's some interesting gameplay aspects. It's pretty traditional from that standpoint. And it's okay in that respect. But I've just got to say that I don't like how it looks. Now the night sky is alright. I like it. The sky looks good. The stars look good. But my main issue with it is that it's all nighttime. I do not want a free-for-all map where it's always nighttime all the time. Now if this were a PD, I would be very happy about this. I've made a nighttime PD myself. And honestly, I think it's good. I like the way it looks. Then again, not for me. But I could have gotten over that. Yeah, I could have gotten over that. But another one of my issues is these spawns. Like, we just have a random sunfish spawn in the middle of the ocean. That thing is going to get farmed. Like, I'm fine with AIs that were meant to be AIs, like these lion's mane jellyfish. I'm fine with those. But we have, like, a whale shark spawn over here. Clownfish spawn isn't too bad. But a whale shark and a sunfish spawn, I'm not okay with that. And yes, they were in the previous map. But I just am not happy with that. We have a hippo spawn right over here. And a giant softshell turtle spawn right over here. I don't like these spawns. Now I could even get over that. But obviously another controversial issue is the addition of humans and flappy ducks. I don't like either of them. They don't fit with the game. They're just literally just food objects, and what even are flappy ducks supposed to be? They're literally just duck heads sitting in the sky. I don't like them. They're bad in my opinion. And I don't think they have any place in modern Deeeepio. And just visually, I don't like the way this map looks. Like, the terraining down here, it looks weird to me. This random estuary sand is a butchering of estuary sand. Rest in peace, estuary sand. It's not how it's supposed to be used, and it just contrasts very poorly, in my opinion. Emmy may or may not be the person that has to make this channel official. And the person who's kind of overseeing if this happens, Emmy, this is freedom of speech, guys. I just don't like this map very much. I've got to say that there are better options in my opinion, and I'm upset that this got into game. I think it will play well, and people have fun on it. I just don't like the way it looks very much, or the way it plays. Like this estuary layout is just really weird to me. I'm not a fan of this map. But if you picked it, I guess I can see why. I like the sky. It's a unique concept for a map, but I don't like the way it worked. Sorry about that. Moving on to the next map. Next up, we have Pangolin TFFA. Now, this map I like for quite a few reasons, and I just think it's an overall probably the best map of this update. That's just me, though. So let's just start as why I like it. So, first off, just the terraining, the way it's done is quite excellent. Just the way it's shaped is going to play very well. I can already tell this is going to be a very fun map to play on. And apart from that, it just looks really nice. prop spacing is excellent. The usage of background terrains and platforms here, I think those are platforms. Yeah, those are platforms. They look really well. They look really well done. The kelp looks a little bit strange, but that's going to help when giant kelp comes out. That's going to be a lot better. Now, obviously, I do have my issues with this map. And, I mean, honestly, I think it's the best map, but it still does have its flaws. Also, props for using estuary sand the right way with the combination of ground. And I do like this red clay here. That's pretty neat. And then the sunbeams are very well. I think those were sort of like pioneered by Blub, and then Pangolin sort of perfected them. This C note area over here is really, really good in my opinion. I like it a lot. And then we have, I believe this is Fjord over here. Let's see. Yeah, that's Fjord. It looks really good. I like it. No complaints here. But I do have a few complaints to do. First, okay, this eagle I don't have much of a problem with. It's just going to stop birds from camping around. I'm fine with the eagle. But I still don't love the idea of possible leopard seals spawning everywhere in here. I like when maps have just NPCs as NPCs and not just normal animals as NPCs. Once again, here's a gar into alligator snapping turtle. I don't like that. Again, personal preference. Next, we have Orchidile IC World 1 by Orchidile. Shark is just, I believe, his current name. Now, as much as I think Orchidile is a great map maker, I don't think this is his finest work. It's not as good as Pangolin's, but I still think it's a pretty decent map, and people are going to have fun on it. The terrain is very unique in this map. I've never seen it really used this way. Now, of course, we have waterfall in the Arctic cold region. This is actually Fjord, I think. Yes, this is Fjord. In the Fjord region, this has been a tradition for a while. Back in always the Arctic areas, they'd have a waterfall. And I like the way it plays. It's a very tall map compared to other maps. There's just a lot of verticality to it. That's very prominent here, too. This is all going to be very interesting to play in. It doesn't look great from a distance, and personally I can't say it looks so great up close, but in game we'll always find something different. Not sure what this thing is. Now there are a lot of things that are wrong with this map. Like, for example, just the fact that it looks so empty. But I also really like the way how it's, I think, going to play. I think it's going to offer a very different experience than other maps have provided in the past. I love this vertical area up here. Like I said, this map is very vertical. I think Orchidile probably knew that going in, and I think it worked out well. But my main issue is this reef area. It's so bland. There's like no coral to be found anywhere here. Like, this area just has like a shipwreck and an anemone and a couple things like, sorry, not platforms, hide spaces. If you look right over here, this is the reef. It's supposed to be a lot of props. This is all we've got on one island, guys. This is it. We've got a couple seagrass. We've got a little bit of kelp. Got a few anemones. No coral to be found whatsoever on this map. Also, improper use of estuary sand, I'll forgive you. There's just, this whole area looks so empty. And I can't say I like this area very much. Gets better in the estuary. A lot of underwater trees, not sure how I feel about that. But once again, his whole map just feels very unfinished. And then there's some weird things like, this doesn't have a food spawn. This is time 0. There's no food that's going to spawn here. But it's all up to you guys to decide. And I guess if you people like the map, then I guess that's all that really counts. But I don't think this was ready to be submitted yet. And I think Orchidile made a mistake in submitting this map. Usually I see better quality content from him. But it's a good map nonetheless. Pearl Defense maps. The next maps we're going to be reviewing are the new Pearl Defense maps, and I've got to say, Pangolin and Emmy, they both made very similar maps, and they both turned out incredibly. I like this map a lot. Now, I bashed Emmy's map a lot previously for his free-for-all, but it's just really, really well done. I love the way the light is shown here. This looks incredible, and it shines directly onto the pearl stands, which is really neat. The usage of props is excellent. The bushes on the islands are a nice touch. We've got a waterfall here to block air boosters. That's pretty much standard by now. I'm not sure I love this, I think this is the limestone terrain. I'm not sure I love this terrain that much, but I think it looks pretty well. Oh, it's C Note 1. Um, I think it looks a little bit strange, but I like it. It's good. She fixed the issue. He fixed the issue where it said, "Good luck, red team" on both sides. He fixed that. Um, it's just a very solid map in general. This is an excellent map. I have only good things to say about this. Moving on to the next one. An extremely similarly designed map is Pangolin PDV1. This one got in this time around, but last time around, I remember there was a big joke going around because based on the ratio of the maps, it was 0.6125, I want to say, points behind the next map. And that must have been a huge L for Pangolin. But I really like this map. It's a lot like Emmy's, like I said, but this one actually came before. I think it inspired Emmy. I'm not sure about that, though. But it's very well done. It doesn't have those light rays that I like so much from the other one, but it's got like this Greek architecture around each pearl, which looks really cool in my opinion. I like it a lot. It's just really well done. It looks very clean, very organized, very neat, it's very symmetrical, like Pearl Defense maps should. This side appears to be slightly more angular, and then we've obviously got like a few differences, like the stalactites. We've got the waterfall in the center. Not as effective because it doesn't have terrain in the middle here, but I still think it's excellently placed. It's just, this is a great map. I'm loving the Pearl Defense maps for this update. This is going to be great for PD players looking for new maps. Now here we've got Wi-Fi PD by My Wi-Fi equals Poo. I don't have much to say on this one. I don't like it. It's boring to me. It just is. I don't even know how this is really supposed to like play out well, because it's got like just to be very like just sporadically placed terrain. Like, yes, I get that it's organized, but it just feels like it's all over the place. Like, this area here is just gonna be horrible for wall pinners, just forcing people into here and then directing them to the pearl to get killed by the remoras. It's got these islands, which I'm not a fan of. I do like the ice spikes. I believe he used those in his 1v1, which we'll cover later. This is amazing for stopping air boosters. I like it. But just this central area, I like this. I'll give him that. The air pockets, which would be good for combat here, so you can keep like a steady battle here without having to retreat to both sides for air. This part looks pretty nice, and I really like this part. Wow, yeah. But I just feel like the rest of the map is lacking. It's got these weird islands that I don't like, and then the terrain is just really strange. It doesn't have a back here. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I don't think we've ever had a PD map that hasn't had a back there. It just looks pretty unoriginal in my opinion. We've had a lot of Arctic-y Pearl Defense maps in the past, and I think it's time for a change in pace. Not much to say here. I don't like it. I wish it didn't get in, but this definitely took a lot of skill to make, and I like this ice, whatever this is. I don't know. This ice block, I guess. Props to Wi-Fi for making this. Up next is Venom PD. I don't know how this thing got in. It's terrible. Well, actually, I do know how it got in. It's just that what happened was the people voted to have 4 Pearl Defense maps get in. There were only 5 options, and I believe the other option was even worse. So we're stuck with this. No offense, Venom, but his philosophy of gameplay over looks really shows here, honestly. It's a boring map, and while I do find a lot of satisfaction in just the simplicity of how it looks, it just is too simple, in my opinion. This volcano in the center, are those platforms? Yeah, they are. This is going to do absolutely nothing to stop air boosters. They're just going to grab the pearl, jump up here, and then whee onto the other side, like nothing ever happens. It's going to be bad for gameplay. He hasn't updated this in a while, and we've already had the 3 biomes thing done by Morty in the past. This is going to be a horrible spot for wall pinners, orcas, and grabbers and stuff like that. They're going to have a field day in this spot. It's just too open, and in the spots that it's not open, it's too cluttered. And I don't like this map. Star Venom. It looks nice in some spots, like these mountains in this area looks very nice in my opinion. And then there's just some mistakes, like it's just sticking out of the bottom here. This could probably be fixed before it goes into game, but I'm not a fan of this map. This is the worst PD map we've had, but I think the two at the beginning greatly make up for the PD maps that we've gotten later in the other half. Good job to all of the Pearl Defense map makers, though. I think all of these maps will end up serving the community, and I think people will enjoy them. Up next, we have the 1v1 maps. I originally wasn't a fan of this map. I've grown to like it a bit more. Aesthetically, it is quite pleasing. The mountains are done well. The sky is nice. The circular shape looks really good. Don't worry, this is just background terrain. This won't actually be able to pin anyone up here. I'm not a huge fan of the prop span over here, but it looks nice in my opinion. I think it's one of the better looking aesthetic maps, but there's a few issues with this. First off, this spot, I can't see it working well for non-air pinners, because an orca can easily toss someone up into this crack right here, and it's going to be impossible to get down because of this curve here, which is an issue with circular maps. Yeah, but it's not a huge issue, but I think this is probably one of the better 1v1 map choices. I'm glad it got in. Blatant promotion. Whatever, I'd probably do the same thing. Okay, next map. Oh my gosh, Pangolin is an amazing map maker. He continues to create amazing map after amazing map, and he has not disappointed this update. He's gotten a map in every single category, and he definitely deserves it, because this is an amazing 1v1 map. If Cat's map was amazing, this one's even better. It fixes pretty much all of the problems with Cats in terms of gameplay. Like, it's going to be nearly impossible to air pin here. Well, obviously it's always possible, but it's going to be, this is as good as it's going to get to stop air pinning. It looks amazing. These stalagmites and stalactites up here, they're really well done. I love the way they fade against the water. The prop choice is quite simple. It's very minimalistic. This waterfall looks amazing. It's just all around a 10 out of 10 map for me. Pangolin is undoubtedly the best map maker that's currently making maps for the game in the cartography guilds. Why is he not manager yet? This is going to be a great map to play in. And what's really interesting about his map that I haven't seen other maps do is that it's not a set 32 food spawn, which is the standard for 20 by 20 maps. He did 8 in each segment. So if we go here to food spawns, you can see that in each corner there is a different spawn for each food. So the way this works is it should be a more even spread as compared to just in one spot. And so it won't be just, oh, look, food is all spawned over here. The person who spawned on this side has no chance. It's not going to work like that. And I think this is an amazing map. It's a really good idea to put those food spawns. It looks great. Next map. Next up, we have Mangrove 1v1. I can't decide if I really like this map or mildly dislike it. Because while I think the mangroves, they do look nice, and I love the way they go into the water onto the little estuary sands. This is like the most estuary sands map. I should love this. Estuary sand is amazing. I'm definitely not biased because I made that. So if we look over here, these mangrove trees, they're very pointy. There's a lot of detail onto them, which obviously means lag. So for people on lower specs PCs, these points are going to cause a lot of lag. Just look at all these tiny little triangles. All right, so we're just going to highlight, go to sky terrain. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. Now, other maps aren't going to have this much. Should it be an issue? No, probably not. But I feel like it was a bit excessive, and it could cause lag if you're running on like an old Chromebook or something. People on higher spec PCs shouldn't have an issue, but it always could lag, and that's never a good thing. But I think underneath the water, this map looks great aesthetically. And once again, no airpin issues here. But one interesting thing that I've noticed is it's got a very, very low food density. It's only got 16 food in the entire area. Maybe he makes up for that with quick respawning food, but I'm not sure how that would work. And it's only... Oh, sorry. I totally missaw that. It's 16 up here and 16 down here. He used the same strat Pangolin did. I just didn't see it. That's my bad. I would have preferred to see 8, 8, 8, 8 instead of 16, 16, but it's better than 32 straight out of the box. That's my bad. I did not notice that he did that. I think this is a pretty solid map. A lot of points on the mangroves, but I think it shouldn't be that big of an issue. Okay, another map by Emmy. Volcanic Reef 1v1. I spent the first part of the video hating on Emmy's free-for-all map, and then the second part admiring his PD, and now we're back to the 1v1, so back to hating on his maps. I don't like this map at all. I'm just not a fan of it. It's alright down in here, but the airpin issues are real. Someone is going to slide up here, and it's just going to be super easy for giant squids and orcas and crocodiles to pin up here. I don't like the terrain usage. Estuary sand should not be butchered in this way. The volcanic reef just looks weird then when you put it up next to the deep terrain, and then the red clay, and then you threw in volcanoes, and then you made it nighttime as well. Like, it's just too much. Like, just pick a theme. It also looks like a little Among Us character. I'm not a fan of this map. I don't like it. I wish it didn't get into game. I don't know why people voted this, honestly. I don't even know how we let it get past crap in it. That's on us. But so those are all the maps that we have put into game. The community has voted on them. So if you don't like the maps, don't go blaming Crabinit, because we only filtered out the worst ones. We didn't pick the maps. That's what the community does, not us. So if you want to be a part of the next map vote for whenever the next map update comes out, then you just join the Discord, make sure you're tier 3 or higher, and you will be able to participate in the next map vote. No guarantees on when that is. Probably not anytime soon. Probably maybe in 6 months to a year. If you want to get your map in by then, make sure you're working on it. Rest in peace, Icy Shores. You were almost there. This is sort of like breaking news, and I actually discovered that this was going on as I was making this video. So earlier today, Fede and Whale Shark were banned from Deeeepio. Their accounts got locked, and a hacker that many of you probably know, named Pi, stole his token. We're not exactly sure how it happened, but it did happen. And they changed Fed's PFP to a swastika and named it GG Easy Real. The original name is Fed JM, which is what it was before. They now have access back to the servers. Pi is gone, we think. But what ended up happening is Pi just sort of took control. But how this relates to this video now is that the servers were restarted after Pi was removed from control. And now the new FFA and TFFA maps are actually available right now. So if you want to play those, you can. They're out right now. The other maps for 1v1 and Pearl Defense are not out. You can play the free-for-all and team free-for-all maps only. But that's just about it. I just wanted to let you know that the servers should be secure for now, but you can never tell with Pi. She's very good with technology and is a dangerous hacker, honestly. That wraps it up for today's video. Tomorrow is actually the day we find out if this channel stands open. So what's actually going on is tomorrow is my 2-month day. I had 2 months to prepare a trial YouTube, and if we got good enough public support, it would be able to stay open. I'm not sure if we're going to meet that goal. I'm not sure if we're going to stay open if we don't. We might just continue as an unofficial channel, but I really think that defeats the purpose of this whole channel. The whole point is it's supposed to be a way to connect the Crabinit and it needs to be official to do that because there's a lot of content that I've wanted to plan that would benefit from being a Crab in It channel. So this is really my last few hours to do anything before it's out of my hands. So if you want this kind of stuff to continue, then I urge you, please subscribe. It would definitely help our numbers and get us a better chance of staying here and bringing you quality content. So that's it for today. Fare thee well.